Welcome here, everyone. We are into the final week of the regular season. It is high school Minecraft Bed Wars action, and I'm excited to be here with the Esports Indiana Network, Indiana Esports Network. I got that backwards a little bit. My name is Orbital. With me is Logan Summit. We will be your casters for the next 3 games. Logan, how you doing here today?
I am absolutely fantastic, but I wake up like that. Look, it is time to get down like a clown like Charlie Brown and turn that frown upside down. If you've never heard of Bed Wars, if you've never heard of Minecraft, well, stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin the rhythm and the style that you're used to. Look, we're fighting over beds today. We've got 4 teams of 4 and 4 different schools from Indiana, and they are going to hopefully use good team communication and, you know what, real in-game life skills to get that win. I'm excited to be here as well.
It's going to be a good time. As we said, teams are starting to rock out for that playoff spot. Some teams already locked out. Some teams trying to lock in, and that's going to be a lot of fun. We got to see all the action here on this broadcast here at the Esports Indiana Twitch stream. But of course, we want to talk about those that, bring this to life. One of those amazing groups, or one of the sponsors here on the day, is Zotac. Zotac, of course, bringing their best and supporting the high school and middle school leagues here. So again, if you want to show your appreciation throughout, if you see a cool clip in tonight's broadcast, please go ahead and tag Zotac by hashtag powered by Zotac or hashtag ZotacUSA when you put out a social media post. Of course, with that being said, we got 4 fantastic teams on the docket. It is BHS, Argos Dragons, Mooresville Minecraft, as well as HHS. All these teams vying for a spot here in the league. The 2 that currently stand out to me, BHS at 2-2 and HHS at 2-3.
Well, I'll tell you this, Argos, the Dragons are 0-5, so they have a lot of work to do. Their work could be cut out for them, as they used to say back in the day. But I'll tell you this, they need to show up and show out and show the rest of the league that, you know what, they can still compete. They got that goose egg. It's time to move that into a 1 because you don't want to end this season. There are no playoffs here in the high school league. So they don't want to end that season on a down note. I want to see them pull themselves up by the bootstraps and get in the mix today.
I think that's a big thing. Again, you want to top the charts of the regular season. Hopefully, they can do so. Now, keep in mind, we got 3 amazing battlefields for you today. And, of course, for the players themselves, they'll be rocking through 3 different terrains. And to me, that's the big key factor. Now, keep in mind as well, there is a time limit. If all the teams do actively tie up, meaning no one gets locked out by the end of the 20-minute timer, they do have a potential to tie, and that'll give them 4 points, 3 points on the board. I believe 4 points if they all tie. But that's the big question at the end of the day. 4 points for first place, 3 for second place, and 1 apiece for third and fourth. The totals will be accumulated at the end of the day, and hopefully we get to see all that go down here. But honestly, as he said, it's just a lot of back and forth, hopefully a lot of good communication. We've seen some, brute force action in some of these Bed Wars, as well as sideline, trying the sneaky shenanigans, as I like to call them.
Hey, I like alliteration too. Sneaky shenanigans. I might steal that from you. Look, these teams are going to need to, as I've heard, by the way, let's talk about the way this game is played within the Indiana Esports Network, all right? I have always been told that the IYN strat, where you leave 2 at home to defend, you send 2 out there, and you're just doing that. Now, I've heard that that's not necessarily the way these kids like to play, that they might build up their base, stay at home a little bit more. Now, how do you feel about that? Are we making s'mores? Are we camping?
Yeah, I mean, listen, as much as I like leaving 2 to the left and 2 to the right, that's a whole thing in there. We'll try and get all the full force out there. For me, whenever I watch a lot of these matchups go out, it is very important to understand the state of the game. 2 in, 2 out is okay at the start, but you have to take into account the wide variety of action going on. With 4 teams locked and loaded, at any point, you can push a 4-player strategy as long as you have a well-defended bed. That, to me, is the key point. If you've already built up your defenses, you don't really have to aggress. If you're keeping check, if you're controlling those emeralds, if you're controlling all those little income pieces, the economy, you really don't have too much to worry about. So, as much as I like the 2-2, it is important to understand that you need to have a good handle on the overall macro state of the game. Who is pushing who? Maybe you can do a four push, in third party and opponent. There's so many little things to think about.
Well, I mean, the first thing that they're going to need to think about is that first rush. Are they side rushing? Are they forward rushing? Are they diagonal rushing? And who's going to be rushing them? And no, I'm not talking about the USSR. We're talking about that first 30 seconds to a minute and 30 seconds in this game, which can be a determining factor in how the rest of that game goes for your team.
And for me, it's also about how well can you defend after the bet is gone. Because remember, the bet is only the respawn point. Right. So when you think about that factor, you can actually go and hide. We've seen this before. We've seen some situations where a player is just like, oh, I'm the last one alive. There's plenty of other players. Let's go ahead and go hide real quick. And they'll try and bunker down, kind of hide inside of their own hole. It's a very doable strategy. But it's all about how you scramble and scrap for the last bit of points. So for me, that's what I'm also looking for is, after the bet is gone, how well are you going to fight? How well are you going to try and make this your own? As we said, there are two teams that are sitting at, 2-2, 2-3, and you're going to be they're going to try and upset you. I mean, honestly, Mooresville and Argos Dragons could be playing a very annoying game. Hey, we have nothing to lose. We can go crazy. We can go silly. We can get into your face, and that to me would be so much fun to see, just playing spoiler at the end of the day.
Yeah, maybe they break out the bows and arrows, because no one likes those. Those are trolls and arrows as far as I'm concerned in this game. Look, man, maybe get a ladder so that these other guys can't push you from side to side and into the void, if you will. Look, it's definitely going to be a battle between Henry Harrison and Bremen. Mooresville and Argos need to play that upset. They need to be there. They need to be the catalyst that makes HHS and BHS play a little bit differently. They need to be a cog in the wheel for them so that they have to change up their strat. And you know what? Just be a little annoying, just picking at you.
It's not just that, it's also maybe winning in the 1v1s. Keep in mind, you have to buy new armor and everything every time you die. You have to spend that economy. So a constant fighting pace would not be the worst thing in the world, depending if you're going for the fireballs or if you're going just for that run and gun style. I mean, you can hurt them in many ways. You can drop their hearts down. You can make it easier for the opponent to beat them up. There's so many ways to be what I call the rat strategy. You just be a pain in the side. Sometimes it's not even fighting. You break the bridge that they were hoping to use on the other end. But as we do get underway, we're going to go ahead and get into game number 1 of 3. Keep in mind, we play all 3, total the points at the end, and then we'll dive right on in.
It's about to go down! Get ready, because Minecraft Bed Wars is upon us. Look, this is basically a battle for beds. That's what we're talking about. You got to keep your bed safe from everybody else. You want to protect your bed. And the last team standing will be the team that will be victorious and get their 4 points. There is a mid, and you know what? Maybe this is a good time for you to talk about when is a good time to get to that mid. You see that middle island right there? That's got all your emeralds and diamonds on it. That's where you're going to go to get your gear and to gear up and to be able to get those diamonds and emeralds so that you can come back and buy the appropriate items.
Well, it's also quite dangerous depending if you do want to push, if you do want to go a little bit faster, if you wish to be center stage. We've seen some of those economy points. You can see the islands in between. It depends on how hard you want to go for it, right? Those center stages, we've seen some teams actively try and get in the middle of it. They do try and hit that middle island early, but this map is actually quite small. So we do have the jungle map later on that is going to be a lot larger in turn. So we're kind of waiting to see what goes down, but we are getting underway. You can go ahead, take a look. We got Harrison, Argos, Mooresville, and Bremen. So all 4 schools are ready to go, ready to hammer it on out. And surprisingly enough, Harrison and Mooresville both going to be spawning close to the same side. So that'll be interesting. We get some action there.
Yeah, maybe we'll see them first rush each other. Argos is going to be rocking in red. Moorville will be in green. HHS or Henry Harrison will be riding that yellow, and BHS or Bremen will be in blue.
So for right now, let's get underway. Match is starting, and the players are set. Ideas are spinning in their head. Let's go ahead and try and take a look and see, if they're getting properly set up here, as it looks like I don't think everyone's all set.
Quick
We see the
correction.
timer go away. I think we're just I think we're having a little bit of a mix-up, a little bit of a time real quick.
Yeah, quick correction, by the way. It does say at the top that Bremen will be in yellow and Harrison will be in blue. So flip-flop that, and we're back to strat, and hopefully these teams will get back at it. And, all right, so let's take Bremen. They're 2-2. They've got arguably the best record out of all of these schools. Where they're set up, what's your first rush? What are you doing if you're BHS?
For me, it's all about understanding where the opponent's going to be. You are currently looking at that yellow time, and for me, I'd rather aim towards the sides. I like consistency factor over a gamble of a hard shoot. Going straight towards that middle does leave you very, very vulnerable to attack. Remember, once you make that bridge, the bridge is extended into your own spawn point as well, so you have to be very, very careful of how it plays out. So for me, I like to go for the sides, go for those diamonds early, get the safe econ pattern first.
Well, and you were talking about how these teams might play sneaky. Are we going to see some bridge traps? I know a lot of players are used to them, but a jumping bridge trap could be the next way to get it going. As we get right into it, go baby, go!
I think, I think it'll take some time, but you can go ahead and watch the econ factor coming in. Basics is set. But at the time, you go ahead and wait it out. Harrison playing the very slow defense, and this is also a side. We're talking about the bed traps, the bridge traps as well. But for right now, there is a very nice set. You can go ahead, as we were talking about, a quick build of that wool. You go ahead and get the bed enclosed, and it allows you to spread 2 on either end. I really like this call, but don't think they're really going to be contested out the gate. You can see Bremen going ahead trying to do their own, but they're a little bit slower on the draw. They're going for a more diagonal bridge build. I mean, that takes it takes you a little bit longer. So to reach the first hit, green and yellow, Morsel and Bremen gonna fight first.
Well, I do like what Bremen's doing as they're building out. I prefer the butterfly defensive technique on my bed. But here's the deal. I like to use stone. Baby, stone is the way of the block.
Oh, man.
Cypress Hill said, and we've already got a big fight going.
Yes, we do. Mooresville trying to go for a very sneaky early brute force, but it's not going to work. Harrison, we're all on board. And that's a very nice defense, but I like the idea of Mooresville. They went hard. They went for the diamond generator plus a center stage, so they were already getting some emeralds in their pocket, but I think they lost it, and they have a 2-layer defensive set, wool plus wood set. They just need to get the topper on, and then they can start looking at other defensive builds. So already a quick aggression forces Harrison back into a defensive position, meaning Argos, I believe, got the side diamond spawn as well.
Now, as Red is going to push over here, Zen says, nah, take that. And they put a trap in, and they fell into that trap 2 times, but now they hit the void as well. Harrison got 2 for 1 right there.
On the other, Bremen doing the exact same, but lose there. Remember, we were talking about Argos getting to those platforms first, and I mean, Tenta doing such a good job at the early defense, gathers up that diamond, able to sprint back on the defensive end. First battle won by Bremen.
Well, here's the thing. You know what I was thinking of when Red was pushing? Wow, if you had a fireball right now, you could really do some damage. You mentioned fireballs earlier. I think they're the best item in the game, and I love to see the players utilize them.
To be fair, that takes a while to buy up, though. It's so expensive, and I don't know if you really want to put that into state right now unless you're full on aggressing. I like this call, though. Bremen trying to trap him in, trying to keep him away, and you drop on down. Hard swing. Knockback isn't really going to be there, though. There it is, the full kill, but a kill back, 1 for 1. That leaves Blue Diamond available to mine this out very quickly. Breaking down the yellow, but center stage is taken over by Harrison. We were mentioning who's going to be on the center platform, on the center island. So far, Harrison looks to be the dominating ones.
Well, Harrison, and you know what? You can look out as we see Bremen taking a fall Argos, pushing them off, Blue Diamond getting it done. And here they're pillaring up right now. Remember, height is important here. The more condescendingly you can look towards your opponents, the better off you are. The higher you are, the better off you are. It's kind of like Fortnite in that way.
I mean, right now we're seeing those fireballs work, and what a punch, Blue Diamond. That's going to be a rough run. Timber going ahead and securing. I don't think the diamond spawned just yet, or actually it did. I think you're looking for it. You're like, hey, they should be around, but you go ahead, grab the wool, and go.
Well, with that fall damage, if they had water in their pocket, they could have used that water to soften their fall, and unless they were looking to void and get back to spawn.
Oh, I like this chase, though. This chase is big. Timber, though, saying you can't win. Another knockdown as Bremen defending excellently.
Yeah, they got that pushback there, a little PB there. If they would have laid down a ladder on that bridge, it would have kept them stable, but they did get knocked down into the void. And you know what? Argos just said, hey, hold my water. I'm going to go for a swim.
It's a difficult time right now, and you can go ahead and take a look. Well done overall. And no one's really gone down. I love the fighting aspects. I am enjoying this ever so much. As we're going ahead and watching now, once again, Mooresville and Harrison, the two dueling right in the center stage, but you can see the iron swords already made, so Harrison buckling down and saying, let's get that emerald going, and this is how you're going to defend, but this might be a brutal showing, red versus blue here. That's almost a knockoff. Mooresville was on top, but I don't think they're going to enjoy this one, losing a member right back.
Yeah, no, it's almost as though his teammates said, nah, I'm out of here, and took off in the opposite direction. I like all of that stone on their base right now. Mooresville taking it to Harrison and sending him back to his bed.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And you can see here, look at this build up. We are mentioning the center stage control, 3-layer defense. You're not even going for that heavy layer defense. Instead, you are going for the wood, the glass, and the wool. It's just a 3-layer defense. Same on the side of Argos. So same squads, same ideas. I like this call. It's not super expensive. It's low cost defense. And now with that 3-layer defense, you don't have to worry too much.
Yeah, I'm really interested in what Bremen has going on over here as they are trying to bring it to Argos right now. And look at that. Jen is done with the fire, like we were talking earlier.
I think it's a smart way to do it. Again, the main reason why you have a triple defense is for the fireballs, for the long range, maybe a couple TNT. But this is even interesting in its own. I like this build-up on Bremen's side. They're saying, okay, if you try and do a TNT-style cannon or anything like that, we're not going to let you. And now you get to see that build-up. Take a look, Timber having a very stable bridge now. This is getting aggressive. This is getting very, very enforceable on both ends as we go ahead, crest over into 14 minutes remaining. All diamond generators upgraded to tier 2, but that's annihilation. Beautiful done. Quandalius, the third slaying 2.
And just so you know, we do have an update on our colors. Moorville is in blue, Harrison is in red, Argos is in green, and Bremen is, in fact, in yellow.
Oh, man. This is getting a little bit wild. We got the bow and arrows touching a base here. Queb election sending one into the death realm. Beautifully shot right there.
I don't know.
Very, very clean job. Water overflowing now, as this is going to be a little bit dangerous. By the way, that is a way back up if you wish to dance it a little bit. But water already built here. Bremen trying to go for a high range attack. Harrison going ahead, clearing out that water, making sure to stabilize and ensure no one gets a free access to their island.
So, Orbit, question for you here. I've always felt as though I want to water down my opponent's bed as opposed to putting water on mine. I always feel like it slows me down as Harrison gets bumped and grinded off of that bridge, and Bremen sends him back to his bed. How do you feel about where water plays into when you're loading up your defense for your bed? Do you drop water all over it?
It's the most optimal side, honestly. Like, there's no reason not to. You see it already done, and it provides, if you can layer it up outside. I like that call. You get a low defensive position for the arrows, but I like this call. You go ahead, drop the water, and it's a proper defensive setup for a bed. And honestly, once you have the water down, you can actually go full aggressive. You don't have to worry. That was a high rise attempt at a skywalk, but it's not going to work as Argos lose out on that end. Bremen go ahead and layer on an attack. They're trying to take over this diamond, and this is the most aggressive game one I've seen yet.
Yeah, you know, I was told that everybody had been playing very slow, but this is not a slow-paced match. They are going. I mean, they're pushing it. This is salt and pepper. They're pushing it real good.
Now, I like this. Bremen go ahead, use a skywalk, get one up above, crouching and waiting. Timber Mania, though, being called back. I'm surprised. I feel like you could have gotten away with that. I don't think you had any TNT or anything of the sort to really break through the base, because you went ahead and scouted out. You understood that there was water being built. So right now, the defenses are already being built up. Same on the side of Morrisville. They're going with their wall tactic now. And at this point, I think their bet is pretty much locked off. Triple TNT set, breaking the blue walkway into that diamond generator, so securing that generator.
Yeah, it looks like if Mooresville could put a moat in front of their castle, they would indeed. They have built up a very sturdy defensive mechanism there, as Argos is standing on their pile of wool, saying, "Hey, we got this over here. It's looking pretty good." Now here we have Harrison, and they've attacked that middle. They're trying to get up all those diamonds, all those emeralds, so that they can have the best items in the game.
And I mean, on Savory, it's just it's a difficult time again with this attack and defense. Both pretty much all four sides have really yet to break through. It's difficult. You have to basically win a lot of those 1v1s. You have to win a lot of those general fights, and then once you do, you have to break through all these water defenses. You can see Bremen and the rest of the squad is now trying to build into what Mooresville has had for the last about I want to say 5, maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah, this is like a Doors song. You got to break on through to the other side. Speaking of breaking on through, we're about to break on through to the halfway mark of this matchup. We're about to hit 10 minutes in, so we've only got 10 minutes remaining. As we've seen a lot of aggressive play, we haven't seen anybody really make a move to control anybody's bed.
I mean, it's too difficult. Honestly, this is, I would say all of the players have been very good at their stalwart defense. No one has made a gamble play either. You can see the enchantments going out here, though. Bremen has successfully gone ahead and slain one. So, Blue Diamond is out. Argos have lost a player, and Bremen are starting to mount a pretty hefty attack. Fireball is going out here, though, as Mooresville trying to break into the mid. I like the setup, though. Harrison fully blocking the off, meaning that you don't get emerald generation. And I appreciate this. You rightly called them out. Mooresville did too much work trying to secure the sides, and instead, now they're kind of in trouble. They are in a little bit of a problem where they can't actually get across.
Well, here's the thing. Harrison needs to watch out, because remember, the lower character will be able to hit your feet, because remember, the length of where you hit is from your head, the player's head. So sometimes it benefits to be on the higher ground, just like Cardi B says, WAP, weapons and positioning. That's what you need here. But if you are looking at their feet, you may be able to give them a bad toe sprain.
I think that's why they were crouching in there as well, just limiting any sort of major knockback components. You go ahead and ensure that you are safe. Now, here's the deal. 8 minutes, 45 left. My big question is, are you going to break it out? And I like this call. You go ahead and break that wool, but what a jump. Denied out, though. Another build out of Timbermania. Gonna throw a fireball, try and get the knockback instead. Are you going to win? No, you will not. Timbermania wins out. Blue Diamond is going to go down, so control over the diamond generator handed right back to Bremen.
And we've seen Blue Diamond battle it out for supremacy early on. And Blue Diamond has lost a few of those fights, but I do like their gumption as Mania is taking it once again to Blue Diamond. But I think Blue Diamond, he fell all the way down and back to his bed.
It kind of hurts, but again, as we were talking about, this difficult factor of are you able to break out? That's going to be the problem. Right now, 8 minutes left. Emerald Generators pushed up 2-2, and look at the stalwart defense. Once again, so many layers, blast protection, fire protection, pretty much anything that you could think of, they got the defense. And at this point, your bet is pretty well defended. However, a well-placed TNT, a well-placed fireball can start to chew through. That's what we're talking about. Those layers do work. They're not perfect, though, by any stretch of the imagination. I like this kind of arrow setup here. A little bit of a dance as Quandalius falls out of the world. That feels a little bit bad.
And I was talking about this earlier. Argos being 0-5, they're going to be the troublemakers. They're going to be the Home Alone Kevins, if you will. They got to cause some trouble as we see some trouble going out. Look at that as I'm talking about it. TNT everywhere. We're going boom, baby, boom.
I mean, you're just trying to stop Mooresville from getting any further ground. You can see it there. Diet is like, I don't know what else to do at this point. It's all out on defense. And this is one of the things about Bed Wars that is kind of frustrating maybe to some of the players. Learning how to break through defenses is one of the most difficult tasks in this game. This one specifically, I think this map lends itself to a little bit of open stagnation. So we're still waiting for that all-out onslaught for someone to really break through. If not, it's going to be a tie at the end of the day. Fireball, though, as that's going to be a lock. Harrison, we haven't seen too much of them as they've been kind of bullied left and right, trying to lock themselves in for the battle, but in a 1v2 situation, you don't win that out. Bremen continuing their defensive hold.
Well, if it's going to be a tie, all the teams are going to get 4 points, and we've only got 3 games, so somebody needs to figure out a strat to be able to call it a day, as we just see them wooding around the water right now.
I think, again, just multiple layers of defense, and I have a feeling once we get down to about 4 minutes, we're going to see the all-out aggression. We're going to see the attempts at breaking into a base, and I mean, maybe into map 2 even. We'll see if that happens. Quandelius once again holding it down here on the ledge. Good hits from the ground. And you can see the back away. Bremen saying, okay, we don't want any sort of that action. Triple layered up with that wool. Go ahead and make yourself sparse if you can. Or is that clay? I wonder. We're waiting to see how it breaks down. 1v2 situation. Quandelius getting some good hits in, though, but no major knockbacks, which means Bremen have a chance.
And Bremen was able to push on by. And you know what? Quan had left a diamond sitting right there for him. So they picked up that diamond. Now they're going to wait around, maybe make some s'mores over there as we take a look at Harrison's big fortress. I mean, look, they have built these bed defenses big. They are going big or going home right now. And there's water flowing through. We've got stone, we've got wood, we've got wool. They're utilizing all the items and making it work. And I like to see that, by the way, as we see Harrison drop a big bomb.
That's a problem. That one hurts. Again, the bridge is dismantled. That's what Bremen wants to do. Secure those diamonds as neatly as possible. That's now twice that they've been able to beat out Harrison for control during the spawn timer. And now they're just going to wait. They're going to continue to kind of get this bully moment in. Even with the Gapple in hand, I think that's pretty dang good. Of course, will it actually work any further? We got 4 minutes and 30 seconds or so for teams to make their final push. And remember, if they all tie up, it's 4 points apiece. Maybe they're all waiting for a different map to really sling things into control.
And we're taking a look at Harrison as they were in the center. And it seems like Mooresville has taken it on. Quan with the win on that. Quan takes out, well, Quan. No, Quebec takes out Quan. Sorry, I saw a bunch of Qs and I got crazy.
Club election, unfortunately, falling there means Mooresville and Harrison, Argos, and Bremen, they've all kind of fought for supremacy over the generators, but they haven't been able to utilize it any further. And that, to me, is a very, very difficult question. You're just like, dang, you don't like that to happen. You can see here another layer of defense. These teams priming themselves for that chance and really trying to make sure that they don't lose out. But man, if you want to make games 2 and 3 a little less impactful, you should probably start looking at trying to go with an all-out onslaught.
And I've seen a bunch of diamond swords out on the field. How do you feel about that? Is that a good use of money? I mean, if you're an offensive player, I suppose it is. If you're not a good offensive player, I would assume maybe getting some armor would do you solid. But I'll tell you this: is we're looking at Mooresville up there, definitely building a stairway to heaven.
Pretty much. I wonder if you got a little bit of an Ender Pearl in there and maybe you can launch yourself in properly. Of course, you gotta wait. I mean, Bremen are already there, ready and waiting, so I don't know if that's actually going to work. But it could. We'll see if it layers up. 3 minutes remaining. I mean, you're gonna skybridge your way pretty much all the way across, which already you're spotted. Everyone knows you're going. It's actually a triple attack here. One from the front, which I really like. Maybe you get away with this style. You ran out of wool. Oh no, so the bridge is only partial. That hurts. That hurts right now. Front end, though, being aggressed on here. Bremen about to be launched. What a fireball, though. Beautiful shot, knocking one down to the ground. Now front end defense is going to be played. Bremen with all 4 in control. Wool out, but you lost out. Harrison have nothing more to play with, and they are going to fall. A valiant attempt from Harrison, but nothing gained.
Bremen went all in fuego as Harrison said, run away, run away, run away. And they fell into the void as they were running away. But that skywalk, hopefully they've got some wool and they're back to continue that out because I want to see how that comes to fruition.
It's difficult. I mean, I respect all these players for really trying to hone in. Diamond Generator is now up to 3, but you can see here, Mooresville just like, I mean, I think they've kind of resigned themselves to the fact that this ain't going too far. With 2 minutes left, there's not much else to play for. It looks like everyone will be maintained in first. It's a tie game here. I mean, unless something crazy happens, everyone's pretty content with this.
Yeah, we've got 1 minute and 34 seconds left. It's like Caddyshack right now. Tie me up with your ties, Ty. Everybody is good with that as we see the fireballs go out. And you know what? Just knocked the heck out of that Bremen bridge. But everybody seems to resign themselves that mediocrity is going to be the way that we're going to end this first match.
I'm sitting here going also, it's a little bit rough. I mean, you have so much time, and yet you only gain so much ground. It does kind of hurt. Right now, though, 1 minute is left. There's always something that could occur. It looks like it's a two-front attack here. Mooresville and Bremen both trying to strike. But remember, the fireballs don't break through the glass. But take a look at that. That's going to be Mooresville digging in deep, and I don't think it's spotted out. No way. Are they going to break through? That's going to be bottled off here, and maybe you make your way in. I don't think they're spotted. No way. Mooresville may have snuck in. IHSEN, are you going to make it? No, it's spotted. Argos says no thank you. No thank you at all. Argos managed to defend in the last 40 seconds.
Mooresville, or Bremen, sorry, the colors keep changing on me. That was a fight for the finish. They almost blocked themselves in and were able to get that bed caught, but they were caught with their hand in the cookie jar.
It hurts. Hurts to say the least, but it was a valiant attempt. Sometimes that's what's got to go down. So at the end of the day, it is going to be a total of 4 earned on either end.
4's all around, everybody. Go fish. All right. Yeah, it wasn't for lack of trying. I mean, they didn't necessarily camp. They were out there. They were active. They were actively going after each other. It was just like you were saying earlier, figuring out how to defensively get through or how to offensively get through the other's defense is a big deal. And those defenses were not too shabby. I mean, somebody put up Buckingham Palace in the middle of that place.
Yeah, it's the map calls for constant fighting. However, it's too close that sometimes you just aren't able to stack up as much as you want. Moving on to Riptide, though, it's going to be a little bit more of a question. This is going to be interesting. So Riptide has such a wide expanse. You can basically see everything that's going on. Center stage as well provides a decent space for a general fight. Last time we saw this, though, there was a lot of vertical play. You take a look at the sails. It's a very fun map, by the way. You get a little bit of silliness in there as well with the octopus, and all that fun stuff. But I do expect this one to be a little bit more spicy. We saw some of that vertical climbing. We saw some of that vertical building, and it wasn't really utilized. But now you got the sails. Now you got those riggings to come on down. So maybe we get to see that spice.
Yeah, this is a very Captain Jack heavy board. I expect to see Johnny Depp making his way into the world today, and it's going to take everything he's got. We've got a few more seconds for you as we get to the setup. But like you were saying, this map is fun. It's kind of cheeky, right? It's definitely going to be fun for these competitors, and we will see the difference in how they strategize this map comparatively to the last map.
I think, unfortunately, most of the bed wars that I've seen have ended in that scenario of, everyone ties. That's just the unfortunate truth. There's no real good way to put it. So it's just, that's how it plays out at the end of the day. So if they tie up again, it'll go down to the very last game. And remember, it's all about just getting that last official win. So if you want to tie out all 2 of the games in the early start and then lay it all on the line for game 3, I don't dislike that either.
Yeah, that's not the worst strategy in the entire world. You kind of lull the rest of the competition to sleep and then just come at them full force.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a question mark for right now that we are waiting for a little bit of initialization. We're waiting for all the players to hop on in, maybe talk a little bit about why things went wrong. I am kind of curious. Again, that last minute attack was kind of one to watch for. So I believe we're waiting on one more Mooresville player. One of the things that we did see is a heavy fight coming out from the likes of, I think it was Argos. It was red and blue. Those two went tit for tat a lot of the time. And then it was red versus yellow. This time around, Harrison in the yellow is going to be spawning by Brenman. And I wonder if they're going to go, kind of against each other. You take a look, the islands are a little bit shorter route as well. So maybe we get to see that go down.
Yeah, well, it will be interesting once we figure out where everybody's going to be stationed and how they're going to proceed. We did see a lot more diagonal rushes than I thought we were going to see off of that last map, because it was mostly a side rush, could have been a side rush, but some of the teams did decide to go diagonal. So it'll be interesting to see how they go about it. You were talking about the sneakiness. I want to see somebody go around back, if you will, and catch somebody, just not on their game. I really want to see them use some enchantments. We need to see them, grabbing some fast, grabbing some jump, and then using some milk. And then at the end of the day, making themselves invisible and getting up in there and causing some trouble. As John Madden used to say, give them the business.
Try and give them as much as possible, but will it work? That's always a tough one. While we're waiting here, though, we want to give another shout out to those that have helped bring the Indiana Esports Network here to your viewing pleasure.
Yes, LandFest, we can't do it without them. They bring us to the table and get us going each and every single time. And if you want to be part of the 150 events that they have each and every single year, all you have to do is go to landfest.com. Go to landfest.com today and find an event near you and get yourself involved.
Go ahead, check them out. They also have a lot of resources for those in the high school region, just hoping to make their mark in the collegiate, and that's what all these players are looking for. Maybe we're going to see a little bit more as well. As we are still waiting, we appreciate everyone's patience as we look to get things underway here on to Riptide. One of my more favorite maps, by the way. I'm very used to solo, and this is it takes a little bit of time for the players to really step up and get ready. I'm sure they're talking strategy, and I wonder if we are going to see that sneaky wrap around. Remember, the bridges are very obvious. Right. It's just, it's understood that you can see all the bridges, but are you going to get that silliness involved as well?
Yeah, as we see a little bit of silliness right now on our screen, I'd love to see them get in. Whoa, hey, everybody likes a skull in the. At the end of the day, this is a pirate map. Get crazy with it and just enjoy it. And I think these players are going to enjoy it. But like you were saying, look, the bridges are pretty much laid out. They're very straightforward. You need to find a different strat. You need to think to yourself, what would Napoleon do in this situation, and figure it out from there. Look, you're gonna have to come up and flank them is what we're looking for.
If they can, that's great. One of the players that we did watch win a lot of fights, actually, I believe, was Quebelection in there, and then Quandalius as well. Those two were able to rack up a decent amount of kills. We saw one squad actually have about 15 kills, I think, which was very, very impressive. So it's just, takes a little bit of time, but it's just. At the end of the day, it is a very defense-oriented side. As we talked about, the point scoring is fully based on placements, meaning if you take someone else's bed, it doesn't matter if you took out someone else's bed. It just matters if you place high. So even if you're the only one to knock out someone else's bed, if you place third, it doesn't work. So, we do like to see that triple, quadruple, quintuple layer based setup to go ahead and hold down the fort. But you also saw how easily it's broken through if you got a pickaxe, right? We saw that last minute haul for trying to take out, I believe it was Argos's bed, very, very quick.
So here's the question that I want to pose to you. If this game ends 4-4-4-4 and no one goes crazy in the third matchup of the day and we get to another tie, talk to me on what that looks like.
It just looks like every team moves a little bit in the ranking. Honestly, I've never been in that situation. There have been moments where teams have come close but never fully. And so it's it'll take some time. We have also gotten word that the teams have swapped colors once again, so we'll get that in for your own viewing pleasure as well. Honestly, we're still just waiting for, I think, a couple of players to really line up here and get into order, and hopefully we get that moving pretty quickly, and that way everyone can kind of tune in. But once we get all those players in, it'll be a good time. As he said, though, it'll it'll be a good time once we get underway with the game.
Yes, absolutely. We are still waiting for the start of this game. It is Minecraft Bed Wars. We are here with the Indiana Esports Network, and it is a varsity high school matchup. We've got Argos, we've got Mooresville, we've got Henry Harrison, and we've got Bremen, all doing their best to show up, show out, and show the rest of the league that they are the best Bed Wars players in all of the land.
Yes, they are. They're trying to do their best, either to make a mark on the screen saying 05 ain't for us. 06 definitely isn't. 3, 2, 1, let's go! Get on out into this map. And again, on Riptide, it's a lot more verticality, a lot more space to work with. And if you can start making a mess of the opponent, it's a doable scenario.
And I love the verticalness of this map, and you need to play it. You need to treat it as though it is part of your team. That is the way you will win. Like I said earlier, you want to be looking condescendingly down at the other teams because you will have the better angle. As we see a little diagonal work going on onto the island, they're going to try to grab that diamond real quick.
And I mean, this is the proper spot as well. Harrison once again making a play towards the center. They did this in the previous game as well, really trying to take over those emerald spots. And I mean, an early emerald as well can make a lot of a difference. You know, if you go ahead, just get that little boost in econ, and you can already see no one else is building toward these emeralds. So Harrison are actually going to have a play, I think, of, I want to say 2 rounds total, 2 spawn totals. Are they actually going to take a chance? Are they going to take a chance? Maybe, maybe not. No, okay. So they are swapping out who gets what. And of course, when you hold an emerald, you can't really do anything else. So we'll see what happens. This is going to be a build, though. Harrison going for a very quick attack. Look at the speed build. I don't know if Argos are ready for it. It's going to be a 2-platform setup. A little bit waiting for the knock. 2-on-2 action here. Harrison giving nothing to chance. What a boot back, though. And a problem is abounding as Harrison lose it all.
And Argos said, you come over here. No, no, no. You go into the void and you go back to your bed. Maybe get yourself a bedtime story and a snack. Maybe some warm milk for your troubles.
I mean, that was just solid work there. Very, very smart defensive play by Argos. But keep in mind, for Harrison, they now not only created a bridge to the center stage, they created a bridge to their own base. So they get over, guess what, once again, someone like Mooresville is able to get a little bit of a swing. Diamonds picked up here. Mooresville already with the 2-layer defense. End stone plus the wood. Yeah. That's going to be more than enough to hold off some basic artillery to come in.
Yeah, I love the wood with the stone on top to start. I know everybody goes, wool, it's cheap, it's effective, it doesn't cost too much iron, but settle down with the wool. Give me some wood, give me some stone. It is the best way to set up your defensive base. And now you can go out a little willy-nilly and get crazy if you want.
This is going to be that chance. Once again, Harrison really trying to make a hard play here, saying, yo, we can do anything. And honestly, going for the top ropes, I like this call down. You go ahead and bunker in to those sails. We mentioned the verticality of this map itself does lend itself to the silliness factor. And it looks like we're going to get a triple attack here. Bremen also doing the exact same knockback on one. Argos look like the ones that are going to be punched in. Quick mine number 1, but you can't get through it as easily. But there it is, Harrison looking for their own. It is another setup as Argos are just going to slaughter them in the moment. And it looks like the double offensive does not work. Oh, making a triple. Mooresville trying to get Missy. No way. Ain't no way. Yeah, knockdown 1 and 2. Is the bed going to be broken? You do! Oh my god, Mooresville with the sneakiest attacks.
Yo, Mooresville comes in from Nowheresville and gets it done. Oh, man, they cracked that bed. And I was just going to say, Harrison, what did you learn from it was like deja vu all over again, like Yogi Berra used to say. But Argos got their bed, and now they're in the final rush. They need to pick up some pearls. They need to make some things happen here because there is no home for them to go to.
Nope, and that also means every single death is going to be very, very dangerous, which is why they're building out and away. One of the big things is don't stay at your base unless you need to. You're going to hunker down, you're going to hide, and remember, that's the most important part. I wouldn't be surprised if you just burrow and shift. That's all you really need to do to hide out and wait. The hunt may even be on. for the likes of the rest of the Argos members to try and put yourself a little bit in the lead. Now, keep in mind, this is how this works. Once your bed is broken, you don't respawn anymore. But the difference being is you are going to, I like this.
Yeah, he's boxed himself in
Zentrix
up
is
top
chilling.
over there. Yeah. You know what? He's just taking a break. He's like, yo, just chilling like a villain, like Bob Dylan with cream filling.
And here's the thing. Even if your bed is broken, it doesn't matter. As long as you stay alive, your team still gets the points. And this is why we talk about defense is the best in this type of point styling. You don't have to fight if you don't want to. That's going to be another kill, though, as a Slaughter right back, Morsel and the rest of the squad are going to do their best at trying to fight and knock down another bed. TNT used just to break a little bit more of that bridge. Just really ensuring that Harrison have to build more in again.
Yeah, boom goes the dynamite as Harrison looks down, and they're like, hey, we're good, man. As long as you're not Argos, you're in a decent position right now. Hold on a second. What we got going on over here? We got a little bit of reconstructive surgery.
Obi being placed down, which is pretty dang smart already, getting that extra layer of defense. I don't think we saw this last time. I don't think Harrison had the ability to do so, but they got emeralds very early on, which enabled them to kind of do this rush. That's going to be a kill, though, as Bremen go ahead and mount an offense. Timber Mania, as we watched before, trying to do their best, but immediately gets sniped by the arrow and now falls. That feels a little bit bad, but not for want of trying.
Timber did have a really nice bypass push to get there, but then, you know what? Die by the arrow, apparently. Turned right around, and now we're dropping some water on this. They've got stone, and it's covered with wood, and now we've dropped some water on it. I mean, it's pretty, and if you want to go to a water fountain, sure, but now do you cover it in glass? What would you do once you've put water on it, as the diamond generators have been upgraded to 2?
At this point, it's that sneaky fight. That's really all it is. That's the whole reason that Morsel was able to sneak in and make a great use of it. They just caught Argos kind of chilling inside of their base, which was surprising. I mean, it was right outside, but now we're going to get another fight. No way. A little bit of a boot. Harrison waiting, trying to cut through that wood, but it's not going to work. Instead, you only get one layer. It was a great attempt. Harrison, once again, looking for that aggressive stance.
Mooresville wasting some of that precious fire. Don't waste that in Fuego. Make it count. Make it count. As a little bit of their stone build has been destroyed, but I'm sure they'll get right back into it and get it back up there. Riptide is an exciting map, and as you can see, these players are using the verticality of it. As we can see, that Argos players are hiding on top of the skulls because they have no respawn left. So if they die, they're done. There is no regeneration for them at this point.
Yeah, this is that problem to worry about. Oh, are we getting some good hits, good connection? However, the respawn is coming in. Oh, Harrison might do it. Yes, they do. That's another bed taken. And Mooresville, the ones to sneak away Argos's bed, lose theirs in turn.
That was very James Bond. He came in, and before you knew it, your bed was gone, and he was out in the night, back to his base. Very, very James Bond.
It was just... Oh, man. I am surprised that they've gotten away with that so many times. Both Harrison as well as Bremen, the only two that have sat there going, dang, things are going sideways. I mean, this is spicy. Argos and Mooresville, both these squads are now sitting there going, okay, what else can we do? How can we make this mess? How can we get in and be a bully? With the water already out, I think Bremen are pretty worried about what goes on, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, pretty much. And you know what? This is kind of the status quo that we thought it was going to be, where Argos and Mooresville are the attitude, just knocking you down and giving you a hard time. They're giving you the business, whereas Henry Harrison and Bremen, with their 2-3 and 2-2 respectively records, are doing the work, and they're out there actively attacking and trying to make this match end.
For right now, we're going to have some more questions. A little bit of a fireball as Harrison kind of wondering what's going on here. Fires away. Another to land. Both Harrison and Bremen now realizing that they just got to go hard on the offensive. That's going to be a nice trade out, but the knockback punts you right off the map. So in a 1v1 state, That will be Harrison to take over. You go ahead, claim that diamond, but you don't really want it. You want to keep pushing forward, and actually kind of like that. You make sure to ensure the diamond spawner is going to continue, but there's the arrow. I don't think it's going to be that easy. A little bit of a firing shot, warning with the arrow. Just forcing Harrison back.
I really like the knockback arrows. It's just they're just annoying, a little bit of a troll maneuver. But I like the fact that Bremen is taking a little bit of an offensive role right now as they're chasing Harrison all the way back to their base and say, hey, Hay is like, hey, you stay on your side.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you've already knocked down 2, so it means the tie will already maybe be broken. Granted, I think we still have to find a few members. I know the point system has already seen to go up, but that's not how we do things. I believe both Argos and Mooresville have players still running around the map. Or we'd have to double check that. I do want to double check that because we haven't really had a flyby of all of them. So I mean, the points are up there, though. Does that mean they're already gone?
Yeah, it must be, but I didn't see them get killed. As we get to under halfway mark, we have
nope, they're still there.
Okay, they're still hiding. Look at them. Yeah, we're talking about you right there. Hey, you. Yeah, you hiding over there, Plexus. We are less than 10 minutes away from the final here, so. Do you think we're going to see a push again? I mean, we've killed 2 beds. Argos and Mooresville try to be the catalyst for change as Bremen and Harrison kind of sit back and go, hey, we got this?
I honestly, as soon as the bed's gone, it's a weird state, right? You're not too worried. Granted, right now we are taking a look at this shop. It does feel like it's pillaging a couple of the villagers, if you will, and you can see there, Mooresville going ahead and collecting their just rewards for having these empty bases. It's something to really kind of keep track of. So you go ahead, buy up, happily look for a little bit more, but Mooresville and Argos are still in it. So they're not too overly worried about how this plays out. They've already bunkered down. You can see that base at the top of the skull. You say, yep, we're fine. No one's going to really challenge us as long as all the beds are still in play. Or most of the beds are still in play.
Most of the beds are still in play. All right, so we're... Mooreville looking over here at the center station, the mid, if you will, and trying to decide what they're going to do as Harrison is looking over at Bremen going, hey, I see you. Let's get involved.
Yep. I mean, now you got to be a little bit spicy. Fireballs being used. Jeepers, though, gets knocked right out of the air. Thankfully, lands right back onto that side. At least landing on the bridge. However, one more fireball can make it happen, and there it is. Harrison falls right out of this world. Bremen successfully defend their bed once again.
As we see those fireballs that we've been talking about, and Fuego, everyone. Yeah, one of the best items that you can have in this game. Don't waste them. Use them effectively, and you can knock your opponents back to their void. Or if they don't have a bed, you can say, na 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 na, na 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 na, hey, goodbye.
Arrows up. That's going to be a bridge explosion, though. Very nice TNT play. Arrows being shot through, denying Harrison any follow-through. Mooresville, remember, one of the remaining squads is saying, yo, we are going to be that bully. We are going to be that annoyance. We're just trying to play for center stage, just continue our own Harrison. Harrison randomly loses someone. I think they were expecting a bridge to be there.
Yeah, they thought it was the bridge to Terabithia, but it was the bridge to nowhere.
Oh. That's a rough one. Nobody wants that. Right now, though, just watching the rest of Mooresville, they're chilling out, not too worried about what goes down. I mean, you see a random fireball from the sky, and I think that was one of the Argos members just having a bit of fun from the top ropes. So, gonna be missing. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, Mooresville sees that and goes, hold on a second. Mooresville's like, I'm not letting you guys do that again. As Harrison looks like they're about to come over and just goes, nah, I'm good.
I love that, by the way. Yeah, 100%. There's like 1 or 2 fireballs left. And the Argos player is like, can I do it again? Can I do it again? Yeah. I see where they're at. Yeah, even he knows.
He knows. Plexus is like, I think I want to do it again.
Yeah. I mean, if she landed, it's pretty good. But that's going to be a chase underneath. Some eyes are open as Mooreville are chasing in. They're saying, hey, listen, we might be a little bit knocked around, but we're not going to be too overly finished. We got to go ahead, get back to our base, and make sure we can buy up, use someone else's use someone else's base to go ahead and, kind of purchase up, get a little bit more inventory, re-loot, reload.
So how do you feel about Mooresville being more of an aggressive non-bed having team, whereas Argos is ready to camp and just cause a little bit of trouble and snicker off in the background?
I mean, honestly, I will always say I lean into the more aggressive. I appreciate the players that do. Granted, that's not when I play. I play like a rat, and I play like I never want to deal with anything. Harrison, go ahead and lose a member there. I mean, this is a little bit spicy all the same. And, of course, that was the Argos side of things. So I think Harrison, we're just saying we want to try. But, no, I love when people get aggressive. I mean, listen, you don't want to just kind of wait for the inevitable for 20 minutes. So I appreciate the fact that they're willing to get aggressive.
Hey, the cheerleaders in the background are saying, be aggressive, be aggressive. And I am not against that at all, as Zendrick has left the game.
He was a little bit bad. Fireball's going out here, and Bremen just chilling on the side here. Now keep in mind, remember, so far no team has been fully eliminated just yet. The bets have been broken, but they have not been defeated just yet. So that's what we're really waiting on. We got 5 minutes left here in the game, and for all the action that's going down, it's heading towards that 4-4-4-4 tie.
And if I'm the other teams, I'm looking to go attack Mooresville because they're the most active team out there. I mean, Argos, you're gonna have to pillar up to get to them. They're on top of a skull, looking down at everybody else. But Mooresville is out there actively being a nuisance. And if I were these other teams, I would look to call Mooresville's card and get them out and get some possibly points on the board.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do. I know we like to talk a lot about, what can you do, how can you play, and things like that. But, for what it is, it's just a simple stay for the time being. Mooresville, though, chasing up a little bit. Arrows go out, hit the back end, almost getting killed. That's 3 in a row. Another TNT, though, just trying to break the building. Again, for Harrison, trying to deny more of those gems, trying to deny more of those emeralds available.
Yeah, it looks like we're having an archery battle right now. I mean, is this Sherwood Forest? Because Mooresville thinks it is, as they're pushing Harrison off. You know what? They are bullying Harrison around. You can't knock it if you... Oh, my gosh. Look at what we have here.
As we mentioned, you just play it smart.
Yeah.
You know what? You're already bottled up. If anyone finds you, you go ahead and you get spotted, and that's it. But at the current moment, you can go get a little sippy cup. You can go and get like some food, 5-star dining in there while you chill out, waiting for the end of this game.
Yeah, I mean, do they serve drinks down there? Because you might want to get one because you're going to be pretty bored. Maybe open up a book, break out the old Game Boy, play some Tetris. I don't know, but that is a pretty sneaky spot to be in.
I think it's smart as well.
Yeah.
That's why Mooresville are so willing to fight. These aren't the last 2 members. This is the last 3 members.
Right.
With 2 dueling up in front, so they're more than willing to duke it out. So, I appreciate that. At least you are willing to fight. Granted, I do believe Mooresville, they're identified in terms of, there's probably someone hiding away. I think that's a pretty common strategy, but we're still waiting to see. Of course, Bremen maybe looking to hone in on their own. You can see them off on the far left. An identification of 2 members wandering around. We do get to wait and see that broken down. I'll be interested to see if that hurts some more. As you can see, once again, Harrison just trying to keep their bridge up and alive. Here comes the chase, though. Arrows out, slows them down ever so slightly, but that's a punch. Good reach. Bremen getting into the mix, and now Heightenly inside of the base, but it's only one. TNT laid out all over. Of course, is it going to do enough? You broke through the base a little bit, but what more can be used? That's going to be a chase, and I don't think the other Bremen player will make it. That will be destruction.
Now, if I'm Bremen, teamwork making the dream work, if that second Bremen character was right behind their 6, they had their back, they could have come in and dropped some more TNT. Maybe he died, but might have been able to destroy their bed even, because that first player was able to do some actual damage, not get through to the bed, but get close to it.
I mean, right now, though, Harrison are going to do the same, and it looks like there has been an agreement here. Mooresville and Harrison ready to charge on in. This is going to be an attack on Bremen. Maybe they can break through and get that bed, and I think they are going to. They box themselves in. It's going to be that easy, and the last bed is broken, or at least one, and then some. Harrison ready to roll And there's only one bed remaining. Now it's just an all-out war. Harrison just wants to slaughter the rest of the members, but keep in mind, there's only so much time. Harrison have 1 minute to break this stalemate. It looks like they're actually going to. They punch through, and they've slain multiple. I don't know if Bremen is fully out, but they lost 2 members right there.
Yeah, Harrison is getting it done. Their 2-3 record. They're trying to make that a 3-3 record, get themselves to 500 as we check in on Mooresville, just being a nuisance to Bremen. Bremen is getting it from both sides.
Oh man, did they break through? Did they break through? No! Mooresville, they tried, but again, there is Obi in there, and that's gonna be a slain piece. A few more loser lives, and there's 1 green, 1 red. So far, it's only Bremen that have secured 1 point in this game, and guess what? For Mooresville and Argos, they're sitting pretty. On high they go. Ain't no worries in the world. They're chilling with 15 seconds left. It is only going to be Brennan who are sitting with 1 point. It is 4 points to Mooresville, Argos, and Harrison, and they will happily take the 3-way tie.
3-way tie, they will happily take it, but from where we're sitting, man, that was so close. But like me and Gene Okerlund used to say, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. It doesn't count in bed wars. Oh man, that was a fight to the finish. So I did like the urgency of the teams, and you know what? Hey, we saw some beds get broken, so it wasn't as though they were just making s'mores and chilling out by the campfire. They did get some work done.
Very, very smart job. It was, again, I like, as you said, the last bit of desperation. However, there was just a very smart piece of the puzzle. Once again, it was a well thought out piece. You don't have to get aggressive. You just have to have 1 in safety, and you're fine. There's no worries. Right now, this is a map that I don't think is within the competitive rule set, as again, we're waiting to get the proper map for the survival 4v4, v4v4, and we'll get that underway here very shortly. But for the time being, overall, this is that taste of silliness. I believe this is Capture the Wool map, a pretty nice little desert rodeo.
Yeah, it makes me want to break out my 6-shooter and get involved. You know what I'm saying? Maybe tell somebody that I want to meet him at high noon. And it's a very wooden map, that is for sure.
But of course, we will not play here. We're going to get things underway and get things moving here very shortly. But as we said, it's a test for the time. Both Harrison, Argos, and Mooresville, all 3 of these teams sitting at 8 points each. And they themselves are going to be hoping for a chance at breaking that tie if they get that ability to do so. We are going to take a little bit more time, though. Harrison showing that they're a little bit more proactive, a little bit more on point with how they want to fight and how they want to take this map. And I'm curious, again, the last map that we are going to have here today, I believe, if I can double check that, it is going to be Undergrowth, a very large jungle biome, an extremely large jungle biome.
Oh, well, hey, welcome to the jungle. You know, let's get involved. A little Guns N' Roses, a little GNR. Your parents know about that. You might not, but that's okay. Hey, if it was in Stranger Things, you'd know about it. They made Metallica famous again, so who knows? Now, the jungle map, how do you feel about that? What are some of the things we need to be looking at?
I have a love-hate relationship with that map. Undergrowth is one of the largest maps, in my opinion. Well, I think in the competitive comp MC style, it is by far the largest. Center stage is where you're really looking, but the center stage is massive. The main piece that I do love about it is center stage is up higher, meaning if you get some pearls, you can get a little bit silly with it. You can basically pearl your way into anyone's base if you do it right. And it's a possibility. You can get a little bit sneaky deaky with it all. So that's what I love about it. But again, with such a large space, it's kind of hard to focus on. It's a little bit difficult to sit there and go, okay, we can make this easy. We can, dive on in. But it's just so much ground to cover that for any team that wants to make a sneaky attack, it takes a good minute to 2 minutes to set up.
All right, so here's the deal. Let's go over the scores because we do have some scores. Harrison, 8 points. They are in the lead, whereas Mooresville coming in second with 6 points. Argos and Bremen both have 5 points apiece. We've got a little bit of a technical difficulty here, and it seems as though they're going to call it today because the last map will not load for them. And apparently they're going to take this match and finish it at a later date, maybe off stream, maybe on stream. We will let you know about that. But Orbital, with all things esports, there are always technical difficulties.
It's never a bad time. Never a bad time. But honestly, I did like it. That map 2 was the spice of life in the last, 2-3 minutes. So I really do appreciate it. Harrison, though, again, once the map 3 is played, it is sitting at 8 points. So they are firmly in the lead. I'm excited to see what else they can do. And hopefully they do a little bit more behind. Overall, though, very impressive play from just about everyone here on the day. And I mean, Logan, it was a great time. I couldn't ask for a better person to be here with.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. I had a blast with you. Obviously, thank you for carrying me through to the other side. I had a blast. Look, it's Minecraft Bed Wars. At the end of the day, this is a very fun part of Minecraft, and I'm super stoked that it has made it to the collegiate and scholastic levels here because I think it's a lot of fun for these players as well. We saw some different strategies. We saw very defensive-minded games. We saw a little sneaky-minded game. Argos, I'm talking to you over there, getting up on that skull. Don't think we didn't see you. No one wanted to pillar up and get involved, and I understand that. Look, these teams were having fun, and it was exactly what we thought it was going to be. Argos and Mooresville being the catalyst to be the bullies, and Henry Harrison and Bremen looking to see if they can't do a little bit better than they did the time before.
Of course. And for these players, maybe they play outside Minecraft Bed Wars as well. Maybe they play other esports as well. And with that in mind, maybe they're looking even further into the collegiate scene, into college. And if you're at home also saying, I want to get into collegiate esports, well, we here also have someone that is also very, very interested. LOS Portal, League OS Portal, has some of those resources that you might need. And they're also a huge supporter here of the IEN. So if you're interested in getting underway with some awesome collegiate esports, go ahead and check them out. You can go ahead and go to portal.leagueos.gg to search, and IEN students can go ahead and start checking in to make their own prospect profiles that can be reached out to for those within the scene, not just other players, but maybe the coaches, maybe the mentors, maybe those analysts that are hoping to bulk up their teams throughout the next couple seasons. You can go ahead, take a look. They also offer some scholarships out there for those that are interested not just in playing, but also for shoutcasters, social media managers, and so much more within the esports world. So go ahead and check them all out. Finally, verified college esports coaches are also searching through the LOS portal now for promising prospects and those that may be looking to highlight their education to go further on in the esports world. It is free for those that are interested, so please go ahead once again and visit portal.leagueos.gg today and take your game to the next level. With that, we are done here with the IEN, the Indiana Esports Network will conclude. There is more action though, I do want to say, coming out a little bit later. Next stream is going to be next week on Tuesday, which is a Minecraft Bed Wars middle school playoffs, and that'll be starting at the regular time, so make sure to check that out. For right now though, my name is Orbital. With me has of course been Logan Summit. We have been your casters for this evening, and we bid you all good night.